To Lisa's Art Room. Today we're going to be starting our Halloween junk journal. This one is going to be called the Apothecary Collector of Curiosities. It's kind of a mouthful. I always say that. I think last year's was a mouthful too. Make these long titles and then it's like I can't say them. But that's what we're going to start. We're going to start the junk journal today, and then we'll do the vignette on Friday. And I'm not sure if I'll continue that up as far as which day I do which one. It might depend on the process and where I'm at in it, as far as whether it'll be on Wednesday or Friday. Let me get you guys pulled up. We're live on Facebook if you see the little red button at the top left. If not, it's a replay. So let's see if I can find my live. Okay. Hey Don, thank you for letting me know the volume's okay. So I am hopefully prepared. I've been working so much. I've been working like, I don't know, 15 hours a day trying to get this figured out and what I was going to do because I had no clue. I kind of wanted to base it off of the fabric I bought. I bought the get it without knocking everything down. I bought this Tim Holtz fabric that's got like the labels. It's got like apothecary labels and stuff like that on it. And so I kind of wanted to base it off of that because I kind of wanted to use that. But at the same point, I have a journal cover that was kind of sort of started last year that I wanted to work with too. So there's like all these things I was trying to figure out, and I think I got it figured out, and then I've been working on the vignette. So I've been doing a lot of just figuring out. But I hope I have it. So we're going to go for it. I'm trying to pick up, I dropped 10 things on the floor. We're going to go for it and see what happens, and hopefully it'll be all right. So y'all make sure to tell your friends and so they can come watch too. And I will be putting each one as I've been doing. I have to sneeze so bad, sorry. I feel like I gotta sneeze. I don't want to sneeze. I will be putting them up on YouTube. And in case you like to watch replays on there, I watch YouTube on my TV. So actually, I prefer to watch the videos that I watch on YouTube because it's just easier for me to watch it on my larger TV than it is, you know, a little bitty screen. So I've started trying to put them over there as well. So just so you know, if you're ever looking for something, try to go over there and see if it's there. I don't have the Halloween from last year up there yet. I am working on it. I didn't know if I wanted to put them up there at the same time as this one because I thought it might get confusing. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. I'll have to think about it because I do want to get them up there. So I'll probably put them up there too, but it's a lot. There was like 15 episodes, I think, of it. So it's a lot of downloads. And each download takes me approximately 2 hours. So it's a lot. So anyway, enough of that. Let's get started with this project. Hey, Lori. Let me pull the camera up top so we can get started. Okay, 1 second. My cat is wanting out already. Oh my goodness. I'm going to get you guys situated and I'm going to run let him out. Oops. Cover. Cooperate. I don't have anything there. I need something there that I can read. Something that is the right direction. There. Okay. Is that the right direction? I can't tell. I think so. All right. I think I got it right. Lighting looks okay. We're kind of sort of straight. Kind of sort of. There we go. All right. Let me pull my mic off and let the kitty out. Hold on. All right, Mr. Kiva, come on. Here you go. All right. So let's talk about what we're doing. So we're repurposing a hardback book that I had bought last year from the Dollar Tree. And I bought 3 of them because they were a good size. They're not perfect size, but they're a good size. The book looks like this. It was called The Toll. I haven't read it. I don't read anymore. I used to read all the time. I don't read anymore. I don't have time. But this is what we're going to be doing. But we're going to do it on here so I can show you how I did this. I did this last year. And basically, when I was at Dollar Tree, they had this faux leather. And it's a faux leather. And they had this pattern, and I feel like maybe one more that they sold. It might have just been these 2. Can't remember. But I haven't seen it since. But I wanted to use it because I bought it for this purpose. So we're going to use this. And since I had this one already done, I wanted to show y'all how I did it so you wouldn't be totally confused. Now, you could just glue it straight on there. It'll be fine. But I actually inlaid mine. If you don't know what inlaying is, it means that it is completely flush. Okay? Don't see it from that side, but this side it's completely flush. And it's a little bit of a process, but it's not undoable. I didn't video it because honestly, I had no idea if I could do it. It was one of those things I got the idea and I was like, I wonder if I could inlay that. And I did. So this is the one I think we're going to do today. I may do both of these this year. I just may not video both of them. You'll see me do part of this cover because I'm going to inlay this, but this is the one we're going to work on because I think this one works better with my fabric that I'm going to use. And I just think it matches better than the black and white. But I did buy some black and white fabric from Dollar Tree that works really well with this one. So I have had kind of 2 options I could do, and I was like, gosh, now what do I do? I'm giving myself too many options. So I found these fabrics at Dollar Tree. They're just little fat quarters that they've been selling, and they were real cute. And I was like, you know what? That will be perfect with this. So this one's going to be used with this one, maybe this on the inside or something, I don't know. And then with this one, I'm going to use this. And I think I'm going to use some black fabric too. The thought process I had originally was to leave this purple showing. But I'm not sure I like it completely. I kind of think I'm going to have fabric there. I'm not crazy about this color and the way it looks. Now, could I grunge it up and make it look better? Maybe. But I think I'm going to make it all black because even on the inside, because I plan to put, I think this fabric, I'm not sure how I feel about the purple next to this as much. Because there's really no purples in this at all. There's blues and greens and browns and yellows, but there's no purples. So I'm not sure about that. But I'm going to keep, I don't know, I'm going to work with it. We're going to make it work. But let's get to inlaying this because that's probably the hardest part and it's going to take the longest today. And this is going to end up being an Oxford hollow again, or basically a hollow spine. It doesn't have to be an Oxford hollow. There's a little bit of a difference. But basically it'll be a hollow spine because I like the way they open with the hardback books better with it, when it's a hardback journal. Makes your pages lay flatter. So I did the one last year. If you watched it, you saw that, but I'll show you real quick what it is because I still have that journal. So this is my one from last year. And when you open it, it lays relatively flat. Now, a lot of times when you do journals this size, the pages don't lay flat very well because the spine is glued down and it can't move. So that's the benefit of having an Oxford Hollow, is that it's open, and when your spine opens, it has this movement in here that's created by that hollow. It's just like a book. If you look at a lot of your books, they're hollow in there. And the reason for that is so that the pages lay flat. But most people just glue straight to, you know, that, and sometimes it means it doesn't open very well. So I'm going to do another Oxford Hollow on this, the one we're doing as well. So it'll be similar to that, in case you don't know what one is. And there are videos on this one on Facebook right now, but I don't have any videos on this one on YouTube yet. I'm working on it. All right, so the first step is to do this inlay. So you have to figure out how big. Now, these are not the perfect size. They fit an 8.5 by 11 sheet barely, which means that I'm going to end up having to cut them down, because I don't want my pages coming all the way out and all the way out. Because when you put the Oxford Hollow in there, I'm trying to find my little piece of cardboard. When you put it in there, what happens is, because it's pushed out a little bit, if your page is just a normal size, I'm trying to find my paper. So this is an 8.5 by 11. You can see it doesn't touch here, which means it's going to stick out further. Okay, so I need the page to be just a bit smaller. That book that I did last year was just a fraction bigger. It was like a 1/2 inch bigger. But I can work with this. It's close to my normal size. I'll just have to trim the papers a little bit. It's almost perfect for like an A4, if you're doing an A4, which I do have a lot of things that do print that way, but most of my stuff's 8.5 by 11 or US letter. But I'll probably have to trim this a little bit. The top and bottom, it's close, but I'm going to drop this down a little bit. It won't come to the edges. It's only going to come to about here, because I want room for an eyelet up there. And I like my pages preferably to kind of sit in a little bit from the edge. So I'll probably have to trim this on this side as well. So it's going to have to be trimmed a little bit, which I'll just deal with it. It is what it is, and I want to use these, and that's the only size I have. So I think it's going to end up being like 8. I think I decided on maybe 7 3/4. Let me see what I decided on. Where's my clear ruler? Can't see this one very good. Yeah, 7 3/4 is what I'm going to do for my height. So I'll basically be taking off 3/4 of an inch, and then on the width, I think I'll go 5. So instead of each page being 5.5 like it normally is when you fold it, they'll be 5. And I think that will work and make it sit inside the cover where I want it to sit. So hopefully it doesn't mess with any patterns that I have on my pages, and I'll be all right. But it just is what it is. I don't want my pages to stick out. I don't really like that. So I'm gonna we'll make it work. So you can kind of tell which is the top and bottom of this, because I can still see the writing in there. So this one, I feel like when I was cutting the book pages out, I tore it a little bit, so I did repair it. So it has over the top, let's see, did I just paint that? I think I just glued it, because you can see there's like a cut right there. I don't know if you can see because the lighting's going to be accidentally cut through the spine. So I glued it and then I painted over it. And then on this side, I put down some gaff tape or muslin, which is I think it's muslin. So I just put down some muslin that I grunged up with some black paint. And sometimes I just use this gaff tape. Gaff tape is a cloth tape. And one of these I have is actually a bookbinding cloth tape, and one is regular gaff tape. All right. This one, they're calling bookbinding gaff tape. This one was my regular gaff tape that I buy. And I really can't tell the difference. The only difference is they say this one's archival free, but I don't know if that one's, archival safe or not free, archival safe. I don't really see any difference in them. They cut the same, they tear the same, they look the same. I don't know. I don't know if there's a difference or not, but this costs more. So just buy regular gaff tape, guys. It's gonna save you money. But when I did this one, that's what's in here. Is, I believe, no, maybe it's fabric too. Sometimes I use a gaff tape, sometimes I use fabric. I think it's fabric, so I must have had fabric. You can use either a heavier canvas kind of fabric, not quite canvas, like muslin, heavy muslin, and cover it up. You want to just strengthen it a little bit so that it's not quite so flimsy, because when you open these books up, sometimes this little piece here is really thin, like there's not much to it at all. So just strengthen it with something. It could be material, it could be cloth tape. Gaff is spelled G-A-F-F in case you're not familiar with it. It can be, I've seen people use Tyvek. I personally don't particularly like Tyvek, but like a normal just cloth fabric would work too. Like you could use this. This might be what I used on that other one. Just something to strengthen it a little bit. So that's all that's done to this. The pages were taken out and it was reinforced on the inside. Okay. And I think I just painted this. I can still see the words, so I'm guessing I just painted it. But it's all going to be covered anyway, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what this looks like. I could have left it white if I wanted to, because I'm going to completely cover it. You've never heard of gaff tape? Oh, it's an entertainment tape. It's for rigging and stuff. So a lot of people haven't heard of it because unless you're in either the theater business or possibly electrical, then you probably have never heard of it. But there are lots of places you can get it. It's not cheap, but it's worth the money. That's all I can say. That roll probably costs about $15, $17. Granted, it lasts me a long time, but I use it for everything. They use it when my husband's rigging and stuff. He uses it for taping stuff down to the floor or carpets or things like that. But it gets used a lot in the theater business, movie business, theater, whatever. I use it to tape my drop cloth to my carpet because it doesn't leave any residue on my carpet, and I can remove it and replace it when I need to. So anyway, enough about that. So first thing we got to do is figure out what size I want this to be. And I might just go by the other one because I already did it. And I think the size is good. We'll probably just do it the same size. So what did I do? Oh my gosh. I have the fan on. I'm dying, guys. Sweating. Let's see. What did I do this at? Almost 4.5. Not quite. Wow. Not even numbers at all. This one is 7 5/8. Yeah, 7 5/8. Which doesn't look super even. I look like I've got more here than I do here. So I bet you I could bring that in a little bit and just do 7.5. I might do that. So I'll try to do 7.5 by... We'll stick with the 4.5. So 7.5 by 4.5 and see if that works. So I don't want it, so you've got this little groove on that. I want to make sure that I start my measurement where the actual cardboard starts and not that, just the fabric part. So to figure out how far over to come, if I can figure it out. What did I say, 4.5? So that leaves me a 1/2 inch, which means, of course, it's not going to be an even number. Is that a 1/2 inch? Oh no, that's not a 1/2 inch. It's 3/4 of an inch. All right. So if I do maybe 3/8. Let me see what that other one is. I hate measurements, guys. I think 3/8 sounds about right. This one's much stronger. I got that at about 3/8. Ooh, so lighting is, I can't see. Try this one. Yeah, it looks like about 3/8. All right, so we're just going to go 3/8 from the edge. Let me write this down because I'll forget what I'm doing. Where's my pencil? It was right here. All right, so we're going to go 3/8 from left and right edge. And then we'll do a 1/2 inch from the top and bottom. I could do 3/8 all the way around, but I kind of think it needs a little more room. So we'll do a 1/2 top and bottom. That'll work. Okay. So mark that off, and then we'll cut this out. And I'm just going to try to pick the best area that I can with this piece, which is, I think, what I did last time. So this is a little bit of a different thing. I debated on inlaying it. It's not absolutely necessary. Like I said, you could just glue it down. But I liked the way it looked, and I think it'll work. I think. Do I want this pencil? I might want my chalk pencil. Let's try this one. All right, so let's just mark 2. Oh, let's do it from the edge so I don't mess it up. 1, 2, 3/8 and 3/8 and can't see on that. Are these the same? Half my rulers do not have the same mark, guys, which is quite annoying. These are the same. Okay. I have one that by the time you get to the end of the ruler is a full 1/4 of an inch different than the other one. I'm just like, what? Why are you doing that to me? I'll be sitting there measuring something and it'll be all crooked and I'll be like, why is it so crooked? I know I measured it. All right, so that's going to be that side. So let's just draw that line there. Now this is a chalk pencil. It could be erased. It's not very sharp though. I wish it was sharper. Okay. Hey, Deborah. All right, and then I said a 1/2 inch, right? Oh, it was a 1/2 inch top and bottom. I'm doing good already, guys. Y'all didn't yell at me. It's not a big deal, but yeah, I'd rather it be further in because it's easier to, I don't know how to explain it. It's easier for me to work with it if it's not too close to the edge. All right, let's try that again, see if I can actually follow my own instructions. I might just do a 1/2 inch all the way around, guys, just to make it easy. I'm making it too difficult. We're just going to do a 1/2 inch all the way around because it really doesn't matter. I can be any size I want. try to keep things easy and life will be easier, right? All right, 1/2 inch. And that'll give me a little better border, I think. 1/2 inch. I went a little close on that other one. Like I said, it was one of those things where I got the idea and I was like, will that work? It did. It worked fine. So, let's try this one more time. Let me double check that measurement. No, that's fine. It's just my eyes. Is this one fine? No, that's fine. Wow, why does it... My eyes are telling me that it's crooked. I don't know why. I think it's the grid. Sometimes I lay things on the grid crooked and then it messes with me and I think it's crooked and it's not. All right. Another 1/2 inch. And 1/2 inch. Yeah, it's just easier just to do a 1/2 inch. Now this part, it's hard to get that line. But I'm going to try. I'm just going to kind of draw where I should start there on the tape. There. All right. Inch. Hard to see. I think that's about right. Did I already do this? Yep. Okay. Couldn't remember if I did it or not. All right. So there we have that laid out. And now we have to figure out what part of this do we want to show. So it repeats here. So I think I will start with this edge. It repeats there. So let's try to come about here. Maybe it's almost going to hit right where that little opening is through there, which is good. It's almost perfect, so I like that. So we're going to mark that. What can I mark that with? I don't know if that chalk pencil will show. It might. Nope. All right. Maybe a Posca pen. Yeah. I think a Posca pen. Let me see if I can find my white one. This leather is kind of hard to draw on. Just trying to look for a piece of cardboard. I don't want to use that one. That's my pretty one. I'll find an uglier piece of cardboard. There we go. Woo! All right, Posca pen. What's up with that? Just decided to come out all at once, which it does sometimes. So I'm going to try to get this close. I am not going to cut this until after I cut the inside, because in case it's off, I can't fix the hole. It's not fixable, so I will cut it after, but I'm going to go ahead and mark it, and hopefully it'll be correct. So I'm going to line that back up, because now I can't try to get it straight. Let's see if I can use... I'm just looking through because it doesn't I don't want to cut it yet. I'm going to cut it close. I'll tell you what, I'll cut it just slightly bigger and go from there, because if I don't cut it at all, I can't work with it. So, can I see that? Oh my gosh, go on there. So we'll cut it there, and then I'll go outside that line. I'm going to cut this, I think, with my rotary cutter. I don't remember how I cut it last time. Chances are, I hate when my Posca pen does that. Just put that in the trash. Probably my rotary cutter. You could I mean, I know you can use scissors, but I'm trying to do it in a way that'll work for laying it down. I'm going to stick it on the grid just so I don't mess it up, hopefully. Try to get on this grid, because I know that I'm not straight. Alright, so let's see. Now this is bigger, remember, I'm not doing it to size just yet. I'll try to trim it and make it fit, because I'm worried if I cut it to size, then I'll have issues. So I'm going to go just a little bit bigger than my mark. Straight. That way, if I'm crooked too, I can play with it and hopefully make it fit, because it's an inlay, and inlays are tricky. Inlays, you got to really watch your measurements. Just gotta make sure I'm looking at it right. Yeah, I'm gonna go just a little bit bigger on this side too. I'm only going maybe a 1/16 or so bigger on each side to make it about an 1/8 bigger. That way I can play with it and make it fit. Let's see how close that is. It should be just slightly bigger than the opening. Yep, okay. That'll be cute, I think. All right, so like I said, I'm going to do the other one. Save these because you can use them for, that'd be a cute belly band. Use them for something. If you have that. I know they're still out there, because I saw one of my YouTube people that does Dollar Tree hauls. She bought one the other day, so I know they're still around. I just don't have any at my store right now, and you know, it's going to vary across the nation, because you know how that goes. So for this, I'm going to use a, I don't know what you call these. Are they called scrapers? Let me see what they're called. They're called craft spatulas. I get mine from Dollar Tree. If you're lucky, you can find this one. They've started doing the one that's at an angle, and I don't like the one that's at an angle as much. But if you can't find this one, I know that Cricut and all those other type of things make them as well. But I've been using the same one for, gosh, 2 years now. But I have like 3 or 4 of them, because I bought several thinking I'd break them, because they're kind of flimsy right there. But amazingly, I haven't broke it. But I do sharpen mine on sandpaper, like 320 grit sandpaper. I just take it and I just go like that, because I like mine real sharp. Just keep that in mind when you're playing with it, because you know it is sharp. It's not as sharp as like a razor blade, but it's pretty sharp. And then I'm going to use my X-Acto knife, and you can use your craft knife, you can use your utility knife. Get a good clean edge. If you don't have that kind, you can use this kind. Just make sure that whatever you're using, you know, it's good and sharp. Be careful, don't cut yourself, because this is one of those cutting things. So I'll open it up, and I'm going to cut this outline. Now, I'm not going all the way through. I'm only going in a little. I don't know how to explain it. I'm going in a little bit. Just enough to really get that paper that's on the outside. And then I will peel off the cardboard layers that are inside, because these books are, you know, they're made out of this type of thing, and it has layers. You know, it's not just a solid piece. If you start splitting at it, you know, it's got layers. You see what I mean? Can you see all those different layers? Okay, so we will be taking off just the top layer right now. So don't go all the way through your book, or you're going to be doing a repair. You could do a repair, but ideally, we don't want to have to do a repair. So, try not to go through. I don't really know how to say it other than that. Just try not to go through. And it's fairly thick cardboard, so it's not that easy to go all the way through anyway. Now, if you can't get to the edge of this other side and see where you're at, just stop like an 1/8 of an inch before you get there, and then turn it around and get that other 1/8 of an inch, and that'll give you a clean corner. I stopped just fine. This side's always easy. The start is always easy. It's that finish that's harder to see. So now, if you can't see that line, just take your pencil and extend it so that you can see where to start and stop, because what usually happens is once you lay your ruler up there, you can't see it anymore. Okay, so we're just going to line up on that. Stop about there. I've got about a 1/16 of an inch left. This one I'm going to do the other direction so I can see the line. Okay, so I stopped just before I got to those edges, because I just find it, you get a cleaner cut if you do that, and then just connect. Basically, you're just connecting the two lines, and usually it's just, you almost just have to just push it, just give it a little bitty nudge in there. It's usually fine. I don't know which ones I did already. Now I can't tell. I can't quite see the material. All right, so I'm doing that. Now, it won't be easy for me to start here and get this started. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make an X in the middle of it. Now, if you want to save that plate, don't do this. You'll have to try to figure that out. I don't know how you could even do that, but we're just going to cut an X. Okay, and then we're just gonna basically just get that started. Okay, you can see how that top layer comes off pretty easy, and this is where this will come into play. And what should happen is it should, oh, there's another section there, it's glued, so we'll play with that in a minute. It should stop when you get to your edge. If it doesn't stop when you get to your edge, then your cut isn't deep enough, and you might need to go back and just cut it a little bit deeper. I'm just going to use this to just kind of feed under there and see if it's going to stop where it should. You can kind of see it. Let me see if I can zoom a little bit more. It's hard to do in this environment. Okay, but as you're pushing this in, you can kind of see where it is, and it should stop on that edge. Okay, go slow, don't rush it. It'll hopefully not rip into the other part. If it does, you know, paint over it or something. It's not the end of the world. Our corners should come out cleanly, assuming that I cut them deep enough. I don't know what's the deal with that. It looks like they've glued it. I don't remember running into that last time, but I probably did. Just working my way up to that edge. I just don't want to just go for tearing it, because then if I didn't cut deep enough, it'll just rip all the way over. So be a little bit patient. So yeah, I'm gonna have to see if I can cut that. So try to get that layer. I'm going real thin. Just trying to get it started. There it goes. Let's see if this comes to the edge. It feels a little bit thicker, so I might have to hit it one more time. I can't tell yet. Let's see if it's enough. Oh, it's still enough. Okay. It's messy. Now, if you don't like tedious stuff like this, don't do it. Just glue it on there. I find enjoyment in doing this type of stuff personally, but you know, not everybody does. I'm going to cut this just a little bit deeper because I'm a little worried that this was a little bit thicker. I'm just trying to find my groove. Hopefully I'm on the same spot. And then we got to find the next layer after this. But it doesn't take a lot. It's a couple of layers is deep enough for that fabric. It's that faux leather fabric. Isn't super thick. It's a little thick. It's like, I don't know, maybe a 1/16. If it was any thicker than that, this wouldn't work, because this book cover is not, it's not that thick, you know. All right, so there's layer one. And then you're just gonna do the same thing. Like I said, we want to get it about that thick, so it's not even quite a 1/16, I don't think. So you can just do another X if you want. Just don't go too deep. And see if you can find the next layer. And then you might want to also go ahead and maybe cut. Just all depends on how heavy-handed you were. I didn't go super heavy-handed. You can kind of tell if you're in the groove. The cut is, I don't know, it's almost like it's leading you, you know, like you can feel it. I don't know if I did this side. I think I did the other side. I'm pretty sure I didn't do this side though. I don't know if this is how I did it when I did it last year, because I don't remember and I didn't record it, so I'm guessing. All right, so we're just gonna work on getting another layer started. And usually I just you can just dig at it until you feel like you're getting a layer. There it goes. Starting to get it. Not quite. Usually it will, it kind of usually just finds it. I don't know how to explain it, but once you find it, then it's okay. You can kind of get it to pull, but until then, it's fighting a little bit. Is it going? Can't tell. It's kind of going. If I had a Dremel tool, I'd just use a Dremel tool. But, well, I do have a Dremel tool, but I don't know if I want to make that much noise and mess on my lives, because it's a little noisy. Let's see if I can get this to, I don't think I've found the layer yet. Is that it? I'm almost getting it, but not quite. You can also, you could sand it, I guess. I don't know how well it would work. Usually I just try to find this darn next layer, but it's kind of fighting me a little bit today. It's because I'm live, you know, it knows I'm live. Probably not something you want to attempt if you have arthritis. It's hard enough with tendonitis. Can't tell if it's starting to go or not. It's not deep enough, I can tell you that. Try to get deep enough. Let's see what that's like. That's about the right depth. Do be careful you don't push too hard or you'll gouge the whole thing all the way across. I wanted to do this off camera, but because it is a little time consuming. But it's one of those things that unless you just see me do it, you can't really, I don't think you can quite fathom it. And once I get it kind of started, then I can sand it. I'm trying to get, I'd love to get a big chunk going, but it's not, it doesn't seem to want to. There's a spot where there's going to be, that layer will just come off. But I don't know. And don't go so deep that you go through the other side. That would be bad. Just go a little at a time. It doesn't take much. Like I said, this fabric's not super deep. Not that thick. I'm going to try to get just the outside edges, I think, and then I can sand the inside. Okay. Let's do this. Don't cut towards yourself. Always cut away from yourself. Just giving myself a little bit of an edge there. technically you can just, as long as you get around the outside edge, you can sand the inside to match it. It'll be messy, but it won't be quite as much work. Come on. Is this something that you guys would even attempt? Am I the only one crazy enough to even attempt this? I'm curious. Come on. Messy, messy, messy. All right. Let me think about this. If I want to continue this route or not. Yeah, not sure you'd attempt it. It's a decent amount of work. It's not super easy. It is a decent amount of work. But you know what? I'm just gonna go for it anyway. About at a point where I might want to sand. Gotta get these edges. So once I get this edge clean, then I can just sand that inside. I can't tell if I keep getting off camera or not because I'm zoomed in pretty far. Kind of feel it. Yeah, I need this spot. We're getting there. It'd be nice if it just came off in one chunk. That would be nice. I don't know if I could mist it or not. I thought about it. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure if it would make it too soft. And I don't want to go too deep. It's possible it would work. But this is pretty thin, so I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe. Perhaps. Almost got this edge. Just gonna make sure I'm in there good enough. Like I said, my little spatula tool's pretty sharp, so. I just got, I think, this one little section. feel how much of an edge I got. Yeah. My fear is if I misted it, what would happen is this part would come up. Maybe if I took just a paintbrush and water, if you were going to attempt that, I think I would just try wetting a paintbrush, because then you could control it a little bit more. Not just, you know, everywhere. All right. Let's try sanding now. I think I got most of the edge. Let's just get rid of some of this mess. My trash can. All right, so I'm going to sand it with a coarse grit. 80, 120, I think 80. Let's try an 80. It should make pretty quick work of it. Try not to go over your edge. I'm going to be covering it with some black fabric, so it's not really a big deal if I go over it. I just want it flush because I didn't really want the bump there. That spot right there. Can almost hit it with sandpaper. Go over. You might want to wear a dust mask. It's actually not getting in the air too bad, because I have all these lights and I don't see it floating. But, you know, if it's getting real dusty, you know, throw on a dust mask. I'm about to check it for fit in a second here. Got some perfect paper mache there, huh? Have more on me than I have on this. Looking like. Actually, I feel like it's a little bit. Somewhat flat. It doesn't have to be absolutely flat, but does that? I think it comes up. I can clean up my edges a little bit. And then I'm going to see if it fits. I have a couple of areas that are deeper. Not too bad, but that spot's a little bit high. You can kind of feel where it needs more. Try to straighten out that point a little bit. Right, how are we? Right there. Come on, quit fighting me. All right, I think it feels pretty good. All right, let's see, clean it off. I'll probably wipe that down later. Let me just get this mess cleaned up. Close my blade so I don't cut myself. I'm gonna zoom out just a fraction. Where is my water bottle? There it is. Okay. All right, let's see what we got. Let's see how well it's fitting flush. Okay, I just need to get the size right, but it is flush other than that. So let's work on our size. I think I'll go off that side. So this side, I have more room. It's almost equal, but I think I have a tiny bit more room here. So I'm just going to match this corner and see where I need to cut. Debating how I want to do this, if I just want to snip it. I'm just going to snip where I want to cut. Let's see if I can go from this side. Okay, straight. Get on my grid. I'm just putting the cut line on a grid line. Where's the top? Can I tell? I need to mark top and bottom so I don't get confused. I can read the word. Just cleaning that off. I don't want any chunks that might bump it up too much. All right, so I said I was doing it from the bottom, right? So bottom, just pushing it in there. You can feel when it hits. Just checking my size. Oh, that's crooked. Why is that crooked? Oh, hold on. It's just a little bit crooked. Okay. I need to trim a fraction off right there. My cut is probably just slightly crooked. That's okay, we'll make it work. So clean off a fraction there, and is that where my cut is? Where's my cut? Cut looks right. Try to mark this side. See if I can mark it. I should mark the other side, but that's okay. I think I know where I need to cut. So there and there. It's probably better to go slow. You can always trim more, but it's hard to trim less. Let's see if this will work. Yeah. Okay. Size it up. Fits in there pretty good. Fits there pretty good. The only part that needs to be trimmed looks like right there. Just a tiny bit right there. It's just slightly crooked, so we're just going to graduate that ever so slightly. Now the bottom's too far over, but that's all right. I can fill it in if I need to. It's pretty close. Okay. So it is flush. So we are going to glue that in there. Now, if you're worried about it showing or anything, you could. I'm going to clean up this one spot right here. See that it's a little high. All right. And I just want to make sure that it's not too bumpy. All right, I think that'll work. Let me get all the pieces off of this side. Now I glued this. I think I used Fabri-Tac. You could probably use art glitter, honestly. It's cardboard too. It's not quite felt, but it is fuzzy. So I'm not sure which would work best. Let's see. I feel like, I don't think, did I test it? I might have tested it. I don't remember. Sometimes I test these things, and then sometimes I forget. I forget what worked and what didn't work. I feel like Fabri-Tac would work okay. It's PVA. I don't think I want PVA. I think I'll go with Fabri-Tac. I'm just debating if I need to sand any of that any lower. It feels like it's completely flush. It's a little crooked right there. But there's also a white slice right there that's messing with my eyes, I think. It's pretty darn close. I'm half tempted to paint that white slice just because it's really messing with me. it makes it look crooked when it's not super crooked. Of course, I'm touching this Posca pen before it dries, but yeah, it is a little bit big, but all right, that's fine. I am gonna, like I said, I'm gonna be putting fabric over it right there, so I'm not real worried about it. If you are, you could take, just because it won't show as much, take your marker, Posca pen, whatever you have. I'm just gonna make it black. Can't tell if that spot's high or not. Almost feels high right there. Just teeniest bit. Come on. There we go. Doesn't particularly like this cardboard, but Posca pens are basically just acrylic, so and they're permanent, but they're not oil based, so it won't affect anything. All right, that should be enough. I just want to kind of camouflage it a little bit. All right, let's see. This has been sitting upside down. Not that it matters, because then I take it out and I turn it the other way. All right, let's see if we can do this. I'm a little worried about it being shiny, but like I said, I think I'm gonna cover it. Can I even get this out of there? Oh, there's totally some in there. Come on. You shouldn't be plugged up. You've had a needle in you. Yeah, you're not real happy. Okay. All right, where's my other bottle? Hold on. This one's kind of I have another one. Let's see if this one's any better. I'm going to spread this out once I get some on here. I'm trying not to go too far over the spot. Yep, that's going to soak that glue right in there. It's definitely going to need more glue than that. So this is like going to be a coating layer, because that cardboard is super, super absorbent. That's all right. We'll get a coating layer in there. Do it again. Come on. Need some strength to work with this stuff. That's why I prefer the other glue, but this does tend to hold fabric better. And I really want it to hold in there good, so. Try to get all the way up to the edge. That's why I'm using this little silicone thingy. This one happens to be from Chalkature. hoping it doesn't dry before I get it down. It is drying awfully fast. May very well start drying before I get it down. Hoping it'll be sticky enough that it won't matter. Maybe if I just do the edges one last time. I'll try that. I don't know which side of that I've been using. Mostly I'm trying to get right up on that edge, but not over, ideally. All right. Fabri-Tac gives you a little more time to move too than our glitter, so that's always good. Could probably use your brayer if you have a brayer. I can get that to move. I think I'm just gonna throw some glue in there. It's the only spot I can feel that's actually coming up a little bit. Let's just throw some glue in there. Come on, glue. Come out. Pretty flush. All right. And that should hold. Like I said, this isn't the only thing I'm going to put on here, so there is that. But now it is on there flush. Granted, this isn't the one we're doing today, but see how flush that is. See? It's totally flush. It didn't take that much. You think you have to go deeper than you do. You don't have to go that deep to make it flush. All right, so that's what I did on that one. Same technique. Just let it dry. So we're going to set that one aside. We're going to jump over to this one. Get all my stuff out of my way here. We got a little bit of time left. All this messy stuff out of the way and sharp stuff out of the way. So if you ever want to embed something, that's how you do it. Well, that's how I do it. I don't know if that's how you should do it, but it works. It's a little bit of work, but you know. If I can do it, y'all can do it. Because my tendonitis is pretty bad in my hand. Granted, I'm not saying I won't be in pain tomorrow, because I might be. Alright, so this one's been dried for a whole year. Because I did it last year. So, we're not going to see that title. Alright, so this is going to be covered partially with black fabric and partially with the Tim Holtz fabric. So I want to use this. I frayed the edge, so I tore it. And I want that edge to come up just above where that groove is. So just over the groove. I still have this little edge show just a little bit, I think. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do the black first. I was just going to leave this purple. I don't know. I'm not totally happy with it. So I think I'm going to actually put this fabric over it. And I'm going to try to cut it out so that the frayed edge is over that. I think. I say this, I don't know if I can do it or not. We're going to try. So it needs to be big enough that it can go around here. This will just be glued underneath here. And then around on the top and the bottom. So I think I only need like like an inch. So I'm going to tear it there, and I'm going to tear it, I think about here, and see if that tears straight, because honestly I have no clue if it's on the grain. We shall see what happens. We'll do this side first because no idea. Let's see how straight that feels. So it looks like, I think this edge and this edge are fairly straight. So it has to come around, we could go a little less than that. I don't like that edge. It kind of folds over funny, so I'm going to try to get rid of it. And then we need the bottom about here. Looks good still. Okay, so I'm going to cut out the center of this because I've tried to decide how I was going to do it, and I don't want to just fold around it because that'll look weird. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this fabric, basically it'll come up like just where that hits, because I think it's going to look better with the black than it does with this kind of weird purple. It's not a very good purple. It's kind of a, I don't know, it's like a faded purple, and this is like a villainous potion purple, which is super strong. So I think black will be better, but I got to cut out my center. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay this on here and try and figure out where my center is. I don't know if I can feel it. I can almost feel it. I'll probably just measure it. Probably safer. So I'm going to fray it. So I need the measurement to be slightly smaller than this. So let's find our center. I'll do it this way. I don't know if that's got a front and back or not, but I should be able to get this. All right, center. We'll just draw a line that way. And then this way. Center. Okay, so that's approximately our center. And then I'm just going to double check, make sure that it comes over. Yeah, that looks about right. So I just want it to come over a little bit. It still feels about center. Okay, so this is, let's measure this one because I don't know what this one is exactly. It is 4.5 by 7 5/8. All right, so we want 4.5 from the center. So that would be 2.5 and 2.5 is 5. No, that's 2 and 2 is 4. Plus a half, so quarter. 2 1/4. I can't think. I'm not a mathematical person, guys. So I'm going to go a little bit inside of that because I'm going to fray it. So a little bit inside. That's what, 2 1/4. So like 2 1/8. 2 1/8. And this way, what did I say? 7 5/8. It's in between 7 1/2 and 7 5/8. So it's half of 7. Let me get my math going here. Let's see. 3 1/2 and 3 1/2 will be 7. And then we need another 1, 2, 3, 4/8 or so. So 1, 2. So it looks like about 3 7/8 almost. I know it's a horrible way to do it, but so we're going to come in just inside that. I can always fray it more. We'll go about it. Let's go, what is that, 3 3/4. I think that'll be safe. It's 3 3/4. Can't see the lines on this thing. 2, 3. And then I'm just going to kind of lay it up there and see if it looks right. It's close. As long as I stay inside that, I'll be all right. All right. So I'm going to just kind of square that off somehow. I don't have like a quilting ruler. I have a square. I think you can do it with a square. All right, so it's not going to be absolutely perfect, but it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. All right, so we're going to mark that first. This chalk pencil, I can get it to go away, and if I can't get it to go away, I'll figure something out. I'm trying to stay just slightly smaller. Ruler's too big. All right, there. So that should pretty much match this. And you can always just fold it over. Check it. Matches that way pretty good. And it matches that way pretty good. Should be good. So we're going to cut that out. Like I said, I'm going to try to stay just inside it, and then I'll fray it a little bit. I hope this works. This is something I don't know. I just kind of thought about doing. This is going to be hard to cut. I'm going to try to come off almost to the end, and then I'll just cut it with the scissors. Because I can't tell where that blade stops. It cut? Never cuts. Okay. I'll just cut the last little bit with the scissors. I don't want to go too far. I hope this looks cool. You should see me trying to figure this vignette out. Oh my goodness. Alright, let's finish that up. sewing scissors? Oh, there they are. Should use the other scissors. I don't use my sewing scissors very often. So I don't really sew that often. My head's not in the screen, is it? I'm standing so I can see. Come on. It's going to be frayed, so I don't really care if it's perfect. Well, I didn't go very far on that one at all. Alright, there. We're going to fray it. I'll keep this. I don't know what I'll use it for, but something. Make sure we're still good. We're not too small or nothing. Alright, we're still good. Now you're saying to yourself, well, why inlay it? I don't know. I had already done it. It would have a bump. I don't think I'd like the bump. So, but you could do it without inlaying it. You totally could. All right, let's fray that edge. Let's see if I can not cut myself this time. Stabbed myself last time. Hopefully it'll fray decent. No idea if I'm on the grain, not on the grain. It's like when you want something to fray, it never frays, and when you don't want it to fray, it frays. And that's the way it usually works. With these little Tim Holtz scissors. They're pretty sharp. I just think it'll look better if it has a little bit of a fray. Nice and grungy looking. So the idea of this one is going to be, you know, all those weird laboratory or herbology, I don't even know how you say that one, things that you might see around Halloween, creepy things, maybe some entomology, I don't know, just weird, creepy Halloween stuff. That's kind of the idea. Wasn't real sure what to do for a theme. I could probably just flip this fabric over so I don't see this chalk mark. And honestly, I could even leave all of these threads. Granted, they'll probably keep happening. But I'm going to be putting a bunch of other stuff on here too. It's not just going to be this. I've got a whole bunch of stuff that I'm going to put on top. Alright, are we fairly frayed? Did I miss an edge? I did miss an edge. Let's see. I think I got that edge. I can't tell. Kind of, sort of. Yep, okay. I can always trim all these off as I go. This edge. All right, let's get most of it out of our way. Messy. This is a messy project. Okay. Now, flip that over. There. So I want this to fit just on the outside. And we're going to glue that down. and then we'll miter it around. And then I'll put the other fabric is going to overlap just on the side of. I think it's okay if I come through about there. It will probably show a little bit of a bump right there, but I don't think it'll be a big deal. Because I'd rather it go further over. Just trying to get these threads off so I can glue it. Don't have things in my way. I think I got it mostly clean. Check that side. Not too bad. Okay. So we're going to put glue on here. Fabri-Tac or not. I don't know. I really don't want to fight with it, guys. I think I'm just going to use PVA glue. I don't think I want to fight with the Fabri-Tac right now. The PVA will take a little longer to dry. Debating. This is fairly thick. I don't think it'll show through too bad. I'm not 100% sure it's not going to show through too bad. Here, we're going to see how that does. Really show through if I put it on fairly thick. It's definitely going to come all the way through. I mean, it might just add to the grunge of it anyway. It might not be a huge deal. Well, just cut that off. The Fabri-Tac will show less for sure, but it's, oh gosh, it's so hard on my hand. That's harder. The fabric, squeezing that Fabri-Tac bottle is harder than, it's more work for me than it is doing the other thing, but it's not going to come through as much, so I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac if I can get it to come down. It needs to be thinned out a little bit. All right, let's see if we can do this. I think I'm going to do half. Go about there. Try to spread it out. I don't want it on my little inlay. Try to match it. Let's see. Let's go this way. I think we're good. Hoping, yeah. I didn't want to glue right to the edge, so I'm trying to keep a little bit loose. Like, not much. It's a little less than 1/8 of an inch, but I want that to fray. I'm going to fray that a lot. See how that's flush, though? Because I do have that inlaid. There's no bump there. And we'll just continue around. It's not as bad as I thought. But I'm trying not to put glue on the inlay part. Oh, I totally did not get any glue down. Let me try that again. I pushed too hard with my nozzle and basically wiped it on there instead of getting actual glue on there. I think I'll come all the way over. I need a ton of strength. Whew. Wear me out. I'm gonna go further into this spine, but for right now, I'm just getting this edge. I think that this black on the edge will look better with my fabric on the inside and stuff. I'm trying not to stretch it too much because it is open. It's very easy to stretch. Okay, let's get this edge. I don't know if I can do that with one hand. Can I squeeze this bottle with one hand? Probably not. Really did not want that to touch. I'll be putting that other fabric here too, so it doesn't really matter if the glue shows. You know, further over. I do want to make sure I'm in that groove, since that is our spine. So do make sure that you're in there nicely. I'll try to get that to lay down. Wipe. Y'all still with me? Everybody's so quiet. It's getting late already. This took forever. I knew it would take a while. I'd love to at least get the fabric on here today so that that can be completely dry and everything. All right, there. So that's going to be like that. This will be all frayed. More than it probably is now. It's going to be nicely frayed and grungy. I might even fray it more because I think I've got a lot of room on this side. Less room on this side. Actually, it didn't come over as far as I wanted to there. I don't know how that happened. All right. I really don't know how that happened, but we're going to fix it because I'm not over far enough. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but I think I can do it. All right. I got to cut off just a fraction. Let me think about this. Debating if scissors are best or if my rotary tool's best. I think I can do it with scissors. I just got to refray it. Somehow I was off on my measurement. Since it's frayed, it doesn't really matter if it's perfectly straight. But it's over like a ½ an inch. That's way too much. Somehow. It won't be straight. I don't care. Like I said, I'm going to fray it. It'll be fine. Completely, because it had all that room. I was like, okay, why can't I see that? Somehow, I did not cut it small enough. Or I didn't stretch it far enough. It's hard to say. Might not stretch it as much since I'm working with it on the book. But it's going to be nicely frayed anyway. It'll be fine. That one little weird spot there. I'll work on fraying that some more later. But right now I just want to get this fabric on. Too many things. Alright, so this piece, so this is going to end up coming around and being mitered. Alright, we're not going to do that just yet because we want to get this piece on here. Don't think that toe will show through. I don't think so. This is kind of thick. I don't think it'll show through. I could have painted it, but I didn't, so it is what it is. Get this off of here. Alright, so we gotta glue this whole piece down. I'm just gonna do it in sections. So hopefully my hand can hold up. And I'm gonna overlap it there just a little bit because I want that to end. Where did I say? Make sure you're the right direction. I want this to end right there. Just past that spine. So I'm going to put glue to the spine and then I'll touch up if I need to. Hope I have enough glue. I think it's time to buy some more Fabri-Tac. There, I might just pour it out of that other bottle. Oh my goodness, this is so hard. Alright, where's that other bottle? Let me see if I can just work with this one. It's like the glue just doesn't want to come out. Alright, so just where that curve of the spine is. The other side of it's going to fray. And then I'll come all the way over this for now. I'm going to get enough to get all the way to there. I'm going to try to make sure it's glued down good there because I don't want to have to fight with it later. And we're just going to kind of match it up approximately. I think these will look good together. I hope. I think they will. Let's see if I can get it out. I'm half tempted to take the lid off and pour it, but it'll be too thick. Oh my gosh, it just does not want to come out. Okay. Neither one of these are flowing very well. This one flows a little bit better, but it's harder to get started. To order some more. I find that the Fabri-Tac tends to dry out. I've added acetone to it a couple of times. And usually by the time I've added acetone to it a couple of times, and it just doesn't work as well. So I want to make sure that I'm in that groove. Almost got it, guys, and then we can quit. Till next time. It's going to seem like such a long break because I'm going to be doing the vignette too. I really need to add another day, and I don't know where I'm going to stick it. I got to figure it out. I'll never get it done otherwise. Man, I need to ventilate with this stuff. This is strong today. I've got my fan going, but it's not enough. The acetone is strong. It's the only bad thing about Fabri-Tac is it's acetone based and it's really strong. It's like using nail polish remover in your room. Granted, I guess most of us have. Not me. I'm a nail biter. I don't do nails. Although I did in my younger years. I played around with fake ones for a while. And I got tired of it. It's just not me. Way too much of a tomboy. Just got a big old glob of glue everywhere. Let's see if I can wipe that up before it makes a mess. There. All right. So here's where we're at. I think it's gonna be pretty. And that, and then we need to trim this down a little bit. Let me get, where'd that glue go? Trying to see if I actually wiped it all up or not. I tried to, but nope, it's still there. I don't want it all over my fabric. Okay, and then I gotta miter that. I'm just gonna, I gotta get this glue off. It's everywhere. Right there. No, don't put it on your fabric. I hate rolling my fingers in it, guys. Alright, where's my thingy? There it is. This up before it becomes permanent. Alright, let's trim this. So I didn't measure it, I kind of halfway measured it. We're just going to trim this off so that it's approximately even. Where'd my metal ruler go? Just enough to come over the edge. Come on. And then I'm going to miter the edges just with some scissors. It's a lot of fabric, but that's all right. So I'm just going to miter them. I'm going to leave just a tiny bit on the corner there. So miter it to where you're leaving like, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch or so. Approximately. That way you can hide the corner. I know these aren't perfect miters, but I don't care. It'll be fine. It's all going to be covered up anyway. You won't see any of this. Alright. So now we just want to lay this down. I think I'm going to make that a little more even just because. It doesn't really have to be, but I'm just going to even it up a little bit. Alright, so we're going to glue this. So they got this little spot here that has to be glued together. Almost does because it's stuck together. I'm just gluing this fabric first so I can work with it easier. Glue that there. And then let's just start here. So I'm just going to attempt to mark where I want my glue. About there. I'll be able to see this glue line. And I'll start here. Most of this won't be seen later, so it's not a huge deal if it shows through the fabric, but I always spread it out anyway. Come on. Just want to get that corner there good. Actually, I didn't want to go all the way across yet. How am I going to do that? I don't know. So I really didn't want to go across that way yet. Oh, that's okay. We're going to work this in anyway. I'm just kind of working this corner in. If you miter it right, it works pretty good and it closes up. I might put corner protectors on this one. I haven't used them. I have some, but I haven't used them. But maybe I will. I'm just going to go about halfway. Get that corner good. So I just kind of squish it in as you do it, and usually it'll kind of roll in on itself. Get you a decent corner. All right, let's go across this way. All of this will be covered. So not being overly picky about it. The main thing I think is that you get your edges clean on your corners, and that you make sure that it's in the grooves of the fabric real good where it has to fold. So just kind of use your bone folder or whatever. Try to make sure that those are in there good so they fold nicely. Should fold fine. Let's do this side first, and then we'll do that other one last. Wait, come on. Wait an hour for the glue to come back down. Okay. Almost got it, guys. I know we're after 11. My hubby is actually at work, so I don't have to get off the live for him. I've got so much fabric tack on my fingers, I'm going to be rolling it off for a week. Come on. Almost got it. Squish that in there. of glue on the outside there, but that's okay. Said most of it's going to be covered, as I'll be putting tip-in pages and stuff, and you won't see hardly any of it. You'll see just the edge of it. I do have a glue eraser kind of thing, I don't have one of the actual ones, but I do have an eraser that seems to work. If I can find it. Where is it? I think it's black. Can't remember. What color was it? I think it was black. There it is. This little love. And make a glue eraser. Once your glue is dried, you can usually kind of roll it off. Sometimes it works. This one isn't for that. This is just it's a tough stick eraser stick, but it kind of works. Works better on paper, but it works a little bit on fabric. It's gonna look white until that eraser gets out of there. I don't know. If it looks ugly, I'll paint it. I'll throw some Posca stick paint on there and it'll be fine. It's showing because it's got it. I don't think I can roll it off yet. Sometimes you can roll it off. Might have to wait for it to dry a little more. Alright, we're gonna leave it. It's ugly, but that's okay. Make sure we're flat. That's all that really matters. A little spot right there. Come on. I just want it to lay down. Well, like I said, I'll be covering it anyway, but if it's laying down flat, it's a little better. Everything is glued. All right, good enough. So much glue. Not that it's a big deal, but clean some of these off. All right, let's see if I can get them off my finger. Messy, messy, messy. Oops. I stuck my glue there. I'm just going to stick glue everywhere. Okay. I mostly didn't want it on the front. Keep the front clean. That would be awesome. All right, so there we go. That is the basics of our cover. I just think that will look cute. And the inside is going to have tip-in page of some sort, and it will have the ribbon. So this is going to have another part to it. I might just go ahead and do, I don't know, I'll pick a day. I'll have to come in and do another day. I can't wait a whole week to get back to this. That's too long. I'm trying to find my ribbon I had pulled out here. I don't have the right color. I don't know what color I want, but I don't want this color. Although it does match some of this, I guess. It's an avocado dyed piece of muslin. But so this will get glued here. And then what happens is tip it over this part, and the hollow spine will go here. And it basically fits in kind of like that. The signature sewed to that. And it will be kind of like that. Does that make sense? So I'll have to decide if I want to use this color or if I want to get another color. I'm leaning toward black or purple. I just got to go to the store and see what I can find. Because I don't have any ribbons. I have very few ribbons. I need some sari silk or something, and I don't have any. I've been just tearing up muslin and using it. So I'll have to work on that. But that is the basics of our cover. It is started. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it and it wasn't too tedious or confusing. I will be back. I'm not going to come back tomorrow because I'm going out for my birthday. Tomorrow is not my birthday. The 14th is my birthday, but I'm going out tomorrow. We're going to go see Alice in Wonderland at, there's like a thing at the Botanical Gardens. So we're going to do that. And then, I just told everybody where I'm going to be. Not that y'all care. I'm not famous enough to have stalkers. Let's see. What is this? Today's 9/11, unfortunately. Never forget, right? Let's see. The 12th is Thursday, 13th is Friday. I guess Friday I will just work on the rest of this. And then maybe I'll do a Monday or something and start on the vignette then. That's what I'm thinking. So we'll see how that works out. All right, so I'll see you guys Friday. And till then, y'all have a wonderful evening, day, week. All right, y'all take care. I'll see you next time. All right, bye-bye.